Hey guys, Melissa here. In this video I'm going to show you how I make these fancy little ear wires. This one here incorporates a bead dangle. This middle one here has beads incorporated into the design itself. And over here we have a swirly design which can be used as interchangeable ear wires. Wear them as is or take the dangly off or put danglies on, whatever. Interchange your danglies. So those are real fun. So if you want to see how I made these, just stay tuned and I'll show you how. I already have my dangles set. I just grabbed some random dangles I had in my jewelry box. I just have them loose because I use interchangeable ear wires. If you're unsure how to make your own dangles, I'll link a video above that I've made in the past and you can check that out. The first two, I'm going to use 3 inches of wire for each earring. I'm going to go ahead and cut myself 4 sets of 3-inch pieces. I'm going to leave this natural curve in the wire as well. That'll actually help me out. And for the last pair of earrings, I'm going to cut 4-inch pieces. Wire's got a little bit of a kink in it, so I'm going to kind of pull it out. Flush cut that. Alright, so the first one, we're going to need some round nose pliers. If yours are curving, you're going to put a little loop on one end, just a small one to accommodate your dangle. I want the loop facing outward so the curve kind of goes up and over. Do the same thing to the other one. Try to make it the same size. See how one's laying flat and one isn't? You can give them a little pound with a rawhide mallet. You can grab your loop and kind of curve it backwards straight. Alright, so they should be somewhat matching. So now you're going to determine how long you want your dangles. Halfway is about good because then it'll come over. You can make your curve where it hangs from your ear and then the backs won't be too short. I think I'm going to make mine about 1.25 inches up. I'm going to grab them both, make sure they're both the same, and give them a bend. Now it's just a matter of curving them to your desired shape. Kind of do that part by hand. But be gentle because you don't want a kink. Since that's flush cut, that's a little sharp, so you can take a file to it to kind of round it off, which I'm going to do now before I forget. Because you want these ends nice and smooth and soft. So when they go through somebody's ear, they're not sharp. can even save that part for last if you'd like. Doesn't matter when you do it. Once you have your desired shape, you can take a hammer to them to not only make sure they still match. If not, make some adjustments. After hammering, they are pretty sturdy, but you can also throw them in a tumbler for a couple of hours. That'll harden them up even more. So now they're pretty much done, and you just need to add your danglies. There you go, one pair done. Put those aside. The next pair is going to be a little different. I'm going to pound the end, kind of make a flat hammered head pin, so to speak. So both these I'm going to hammer out flat enough so that silver bead won't come off. Make sure to hammer these guys equally. Let's give it a try. These are 3mm sterling beads. Nope, they come off. They come right off, so I'm going to hammer some more. Of course, for these earrings, you can use any bead you like. Just gotta make sure your wire's hammered wide enough so your beads don't come off. We're getting there. I want a little bit more showing though. Alright, so I think I kind of want them curving in opposite directions here. Let's feed on our other beads. Hopefully they fit. So far, no luck. That's the problem with gemstone beads, is you don't get consistent drilled holes. So I'm gonna have to find something else. Alright, so I just found some sparkly glass rondelles. Those should work. Alternate your beads. Of course, you can use whatever bead pattern you want. You don't have to use these as many beads as I'm using. You can use 3, whatever suits your fancy. These are just something I'm throwing together. Alright, so my wire curves. So I think I'm going to want to make my ear wire so this is how they look from the front. You can even turn them and have them look like that from the front, nice and straight. Now my wires might be a little long now that I'm not using the same beads. These take up a little more room than these rondelles, so I'm trying to decide where to put my bend. I'll put it at 1.5 inches. I'm going to make a bend. Just like the last one, I'm gonna try to curve it. And this curve should be sharp enough where this bead shouldn't. I'm a liar. Now I gotta make this curve sharper. Yeah, make it sharp enough where the bead doesn't go around. But it all depends on what beads you pick. You can curve them this way, and you can also curve them this way as well to match the front. Of course, you're gonna soften up that edges just like you did the last one, so it's not sharp. Okay, so this last pair of earrings, you're gonna use 4 inches of wire because you're gonna make a swirl. And that's gonna take up more wire. So you're gonna need your round nose pliers for these. Danglers are kind of optional for this. You can do the swirly earrings by themselves, hang some danglies, or figure out other designs for them. But anyway, let's make our swirl. If your wire has a natural curve, kind of swirl it in that direction. I feel a little kink in my wire down here, so I'm just kind of pulling it out. Alright, so I'm gonna want to kind of smush my end into a point. I'm gonna go a little farther down on my round nose pliers. I don't want it too much of a tight swirl. At some point I'm going to switch and go to my flat nose. And kind of guide the wire from there. Make one just like it. I'm very gently pushing on the wire to get it to bend. Pushing and pulling. Because you don't want to put a kink in it. See, I cut them at the same length, but they match up here. They don't match up here. I don't get it. So I'm gonna even them up. Okay, before I move on, I'm gonna kind of hammer them out, just like I did the other ones. I'm gonna put some tape on those guys to keep them stable. Some painter's tape should do the trick. So I'm gonna kind of flare this hump out a little bit to keep my dangle on. So make sure they still match. Hammer a little bit more. Just keep in mind, you gotta make your dangly loop a lot smaller than that. A lot smaller than your flare. Alright, so let's keep our dangle on. Don't get them tangled. And let's shape our earrings. Pretty much the same concept. Gonna pick a distance up to make your bend. So I'm thinking about there. That looks good. Take my flat nose. Alright, take a nice bend in that. I guess these can be interchangeable too. You can take the dangly off and interchange it with something else. Put that aside and then shape your ear wires. Kind of give them a curve to follow that swirl. And I just use my fingers for that. That soft wire is easy to work with as far as that goes. And you file the ends and you'll be good. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take it one step further and I'm gonna tumble them for a little bit, just to give them that extra hardness. And I'll be back. All right, so I took my earrings out of the tumbler and they're a little sturdier and a little shinier. Here's one. Like, you can do any dangle you want, any beads you want. Here's how this one turned out. You can wear them like this, or you can wear them framing your face. And then these you can use as interchangeable ear wires. So different ideas for some fancy looking ear wires. And let me show you some old ones that I made that are mine. I had some small gemstones and I wrapped them in a little bezel. If you have small gemstones, like calibrated gemstones, like these are 4mm, or you got 6x4mm ovals that you don't feel like wrapping. These are called Wrap-Tite bezels, and I got them from Fire Mountain Gems, and I'll put that down in the description as well. It's the brand name, but they're really cool just to get your little gemstones in a setting, and then you can dangle them from whatever you want. Here I dangled them from my pre-made or my homemade ear wires. I also have these. These are garnets, by the way. These are rutilated quartz right here, and these are wrapped in gold fill bezels, and the ear wires are gold fill as well. Just like the ones before. I should have remembered, I made these a while ago, but these I used 22 gauge wire because, of course, from like you saw, my beads didn't fit on the 20 gauge, so I used 22 gauge. I hammered the end, put my beads on, and then shape the ear wire. So yeah, these are my personal earrings. So I just wanted to show you some different variations. All right, so that's all I have today. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial and found some value in it. Like I said, I've been wearing these type of earrings for many years. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. Give me a comment, let me know what you thought. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one.